I got inspired by Zajeff's account detective series, where he pulls up viewers' accounts and sees if it's a skill issue or a build issue. And yeah, I thought it'd be funny to do one of ours because we had a situation in the Discord today. How come my C1 Shenhe is worse than both Yelan and Mona on the Skirk team? Yelan C0, R0, and Mona isn't even C4. Is my Shenhe defective? So yeah, so we want to see, is that true? Because I would say for most people, Yelan is good in this team. But I would say for most people, you probably get a few characters higher. Like, you'd probably get Shenhe higher. You'd probably get Mona higher as well. They should be quite close. Something weird must be going on. Okay, so you said when you were playing, you were getting 150k with Yelan and Mona, and Shenhe you were getting 145k. So how does the Jeff do this? I think what he does is he goes in with the builds that they have. So what we're going to do is we're just going to see what builds you have right now and then go into it and then see what damage we get with everything already, how things are. So yeah, your builds look quite good. Your talents are leveled. You have Golden Troop on Furina. Okay. And you have this. And Golden Troop there as well. Okay, so I can kind of figure out something might be happening. Okay, bear in mind, I am playing on Asia ping. But let's see what DPS we get with the builds that they have. What combos are you doing, by the way? I guess that is pretty important. Your Skirk's doing 85k hits, 126k on the N5. Okay, I think I am losing like seconds in this rotation because of the lag. But we're getting some decent damage here. Okay, whatever. I got about 156k. You actually got more damage than me. My rotation was 5 seconds longer and I did like 5 rotations. So maybe, yeah, maybe that's the ping issue. What does the Jeff do next? Does the Jeff test the other character now or does he change the builds? I think we test the other character, don't we? Okay, so we... Okay, I kind of already see an issue. Let me know if you're ready to notice an issue. So for reference, the Shenhe is on 2.7k attack with this build. 180 ER. That's not bad. Okay, we are bricked on energy. When you were testing Shenhe versus the Hydro teammates, did you account for energy? Okay, let's turn the Infinite Energy on just for now. Okay, I mean, let's be honest, like, I kind of was cheating by doing the N2D combos, because I don't necessarily think you were doing that. But then again, like, especially with this ping and my skill issue, I wasn't even getting, like, the perfect combos anyway. But that is the same as your Yelan, about 158k DPS. Which you said you were getting 145k. I think we can still fix things to where Shenhe will be better. Okay, so what did I notice straight away? I noticed that there wasn't actually much buffs funneled into Skirk. You have Emblem on Yelan, Golden Troop on both these two characters. which is not that big of a deal in like a Yelan team. You have Emblem Mona as well. Okay, so that is definitely gonna be a thing in these two teams here. So that in itself could be what is the issue with your account. The only issue is, are you doing Golden Troop on your supports because you don't have Tenacity for Furina or another set for Escoffier? Or are your builds just too good that you can't switch? I mean, first of all, I see this insane goblet here. And secondly, I see only 8 artifacts here. No, unironically, you can make an argument. Strong boxing Tenacity for Furina will be a bigger upgrade. Getting a Skirk upgrade, you probably get a bigger upgrade just trying to quickly improve your Furina. Well, all we need is like one real good piece. There we go. Oh shit, I rolled crit, guys. Oh! Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. This could have been my account. Ooh. The ER is very low. I'm leaning towards giving you an ER sans off piece. Hold on. This is possible. 220. I think that should be fine. It's not that bad. I think I use about 240, but I think some of that is overkill. Okay, what I think would be interesting is if just changing that, should we see if the DPS goes up? And we'll see if the DPS goes up in both teams. Because what a lot of people don't know is even in the teams where Furina is supposed to be doing a lot of damage, even in those teams, a lot of people find they get more damage still using Tenacity. I've even heard several stories of people with like C3, C4, C6 Furinas and they still want Tenacity. Having said that though, some people with C2 Furinas find that their Golden Troop works better. You have to test with each account. Okay, we actually got the same damage in this team. Okay. Let's go to a different team though. That is the best combo I can do with this thing. Okay, there we go. So, did you see, just by doing that one change, we gained like, I don't know, what was that? 2% team damage. Insane, by the way. We have more to do though, but you can see that we're starting to see the strengths of Shenhe. Yeah, is there a reason why your Shenhe is level 80, by the way? With level 8 talents? This is obviously an issue, because Shenhe is an attack scaler. You get base attack and attack percent, and that will scale up her buffs. On top of that, we are kind of comparing like a double crowned Yelan. Even Mona, hold on. You're also missing some damage bonus on Mona by not having Hub Burst leveled higher. But we can try and see how much better we can get without increasing level, because there's nothing we can do about that. That is a really good piece. Now I'm wondering, are you missing ER on your... Okay, here we go. This is what you don't want. This is honestly better. Your flower is fine. The feather can be swapped. Like that by itself. I mean, that's basically a perfect Shenhe build. You got enough crit rate to proc Favlons. You have more than enough ER. But I have a feeling, like, if you're not tryharding, you probably don't need to worry about changing your Escoffier build. It could be a DPS increase to change the scrolls, but you've kind of got a good set already. I mean, but just to check, let's just check, because you have also real good scrolls pieces. I'm not going to expect a big increase here. Oh, the energy. I think the energy is affecting the Favlons procs. Okay, honestly, I think GT was better on your account. And GT would also be better with Mona, because Mona, you're oversaturating scrolls even more. GT scrolls it's very minor. Scrolls obviously scales better with the combos, but it's not as big of a difference as like tenacity on Furina. Like some people will actually see a lot switching. What combos do I do? I do like just the civilian N2D probably, but I am El Natural. We are Usain Bolt. We are the Usain Bolt of Skirk mains. And then everyone else is like a Lance Armstronging. The Dwayne Johnson. I'm not the Dwayne Johnson. My level, you can get there with hard work and a good diet. We're not using PEDs or anything. That's all it takes. But you'll see random videos on the internet. They'll tell you, they'll do like some perfect combo, and then they'll say, yeah, I just click well on the mouse. Okay, so we need to do something about Mona if we're going to test Mona. TTDS is good, but this is a big no. Okay, should we borrow Bennett's pieces just for this test? That could be good enough. Oh, damn, look at this piece here. Nice, nice, nice. Dodge defense. So that could help you transition to scrolls if you want. Okay, that was a bit low. I can only assume that's a bit of the ping, because almost such a short duration. Also, your Mona's burst is not fully leveled either. Okay, so the last thing we'll look at is, can the Skirk be improved? Honestly, I thought the Skirk was pretty good. You've got your gallery set. I'm assuming your gallery set is better than MH. And by assuming, I mean just by virtue of existing. Yeah, I mean, honestly, your builds are... Whoa. Did you use an optimizer for your builds to decide on what off-piece to use? Oh, you maximized to akasha. Okay, honestly, I'm not going to change it because it's not that big of a deal. Although I would say, as a final piece of advice, I would say to be careful about the Skirk akasha rankings, because they don't have many buffs. So look at this double hydro team here. As you can see, it doesn't have any artifact sets on any of the supports. You're missing a ton of team buffs here. And even if you do a triple cryo team, it has no bless on Shenhe, but it still you know, you can still have a buffing set on Furina and even Escoffier. Yeah, so I think at this point in the video, Zajef gives the verdict. I think this has been debunked. Is it safe to say? Now, was it debunked because of a skill issue or a build issue? I think it was a build issue where maybe your Yelan teams were overperforming because your Skirk was only doing like 60% of your team's damage, and you had no buffing sets on any of the teammates. That is something that we fixed. However, there are still more things that you could fix. It's not that big of a deal, but you could do Escoffier's talents here. I think the biggest change though is deciding, do you want to play Shenhe or do you want to play Mona? Because if you want to play Shenhe, even though we got her as your best team, you know, you still got your levels you can improve. You still have the talents, and it might make Shenhe even further ahead of Yelan. So if I would have to give you homework, if you was going to do something, I would say get your Shenhe to level 90. That will get you a decent amount of attack just by itself. And then do the talents. If you had to pick a priority order, what does the in-game tell you to do? Tells you level the burst first and then the skill. That probably is accurate. Have you got a lot of crowns? You have 32 crowns, so you've got more than enough. You can afford to use some of these. I think she uses prosperity, so you even have a decent amount of these as well. Oh yeah, I guess then to end it, we asked the chat. So this was the fraud check. Were they correct in their initial statement, or were they a fraud? Let me know.